How's it going, everyone? Zabby here, and today we're going to be doing something new. This is going to be the best beginner's guide that you can find for Fishing Planet. In this one, we're going to start off with the very beginning lake, which is Lonestar. Now, you guys will have to complete a tutorial where it basically just tells you to toss your rod into the water in a little circle and teaches you the very basics of the game. One tip I'm going to give you right away is instead of doing these little pussy casts here, basically what you're going to do is if you're on PC, you're going to press F11. And it's going to allow you to bring your rod down. If you're on console, I believe it's clicking the right stick, and then you're going to be able to actually do a legitimate cast and aim. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what to do after you finish the tutorial, what you should upgrade, what missions you should do, how to catch the fish that are in those missions, and how to basically set yourself up properly so you can go to the next lake after this without wasting your money, because this game is all about maximizing your profits. And if you go to a new lake too early, you will end up having to come back here and farm, and you do not want to do that. So make sure you guys watch the whole video, and I will explain what you need to do to get to the next lake and be profitable with that. All right, so once you're done the beginning of the tutorial and you kind of don't have an idea of what to do, what you're going to want to do is come over to the missions tab here. And now mine is in completed, yours will be in current, and you want to go to Lonestar Exploration 1. You're going to want to catch all of these fish that are listed here: the white crappie, the red ear sunfish, the green sunfish, the bluegill, the golden shiner, the blacktail shiner. And the rewards for that are you get a nice cool nighttime float, you get $1,000, and you get 1 bait coin, which is the microcurrency in this game. Now, the easiest way to do that is to just go to the dock here, right where we were before. Set your leader length to about 50 centimeters or 20 inches, depending on what you're using. You can also change that with O and P on PC, and you also on console, I believe it's the D-pad on console. So if you're on console, use the D-pad, and basically what you're going to do is you're just going to fish here, and then all you're going to do is catch each one of those fish, and it's going to complete that first mission for you. And you can catch every single one of those right here in this exact same spot. I will show you a video of it happening, just so you guys know I'm not lying to you. And that way there's proof that you can catch every single type of fish here. One thing I did forget to do, and you got to remember to always do this, is go here and look at the peak fishing times. Now you can see 5 o'clock is decently high here, but the best time is from like 1700 hours to 2100. So we're just going to hit T or square, I believe, on console. And we're just going to go straight up to 1800 hours here. That way it's peak times, and we're catching the most amount of fish that we can possibly catch. Now, that's just step one. Once you do this mission, you'll get a little bit of extra money, and then I will tell you guys what to buy next to complete the next mission. All right, so here's the bluegill. That's one of them down. All right, just wanted to let you guys know. Now, I did say earlier that it was 50 centimeters or 20 inches that you wanted to keep your leader around. Now, that is an estimate just for this. Panfish can kind of be caught at whatever depth, to be honest with you. So if you aren't catching anything, maybe shorten that up a little bit to something like 30 centimeters, maybe 11 inches, something like that, just to change it up a little bit. Anyways, here's the red ear sunfish. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about just while I'm fishing here is if you look in the bottom right hand corner, you can see the drag moving up and down here when I press it. Now on PlayStation, I believe it's up and down on the D-pad. And then on PC, it's plus and minus. I also have a hotkey set on my mouse if that's what you guys want to do. Now, remember to keep your drag set about halfway and then up it if you need to. If you have it set too high, you will break your line, and that's not something you want to do. Also, just let me reel in quickly here. To get this 3 bar set up there on the right side with the line, the rod, and the reel, you just want to go into options here and set Pro for the tackle load indicator. Now, it's a much better system because you actually know what is being strained on your setup. All right, just wanted to show you guys that we have gotten the blacktail shiner from the exact same spot as all the other fish. So now we only have the white crappie, the green sunfish, and the golden shiner, which again you can get from the exact same spots. All right, so we grabbed the green sunfish here, again same spot as all the other fish. Just wanted to let you guys know that for the white crappie and the golden shiner, swap over to bread. As you can see up in the top right here, I do have bread on, and I got the white crappie almost instantly. So if you're having a little bit of trouble catching the white crappie or the golden shiner, just swap to bread. You just go into your inventory, just like so. You go into here and you just drag the bread onto the hook there, and you will be able to grab the crappie and the shiner very quickly. All right, and here's the last fish of the first Lone Star Exploration Challenge, the Golden Shiner. So now that you guys are done with the first challenge, I'm going to tell you guys how to get the second one done, and the locations of the catfish, the buffalo, the bass, the pickerel, and all that stuff. And I'm going to teach you guys the rod setup to use for that. So if we go look at Lone Star Exploration number 2 in the missions tab here, which you will unlock after completing number 1, you're going to have to catch a smallmouth buffalo, a channel catfish, a spotted bass, and a grass pickerel. Now, to do this, we are going to have to buy some new setups. So what you're going to want to do is leave Lone Star Lake, click OK. You're going to get your totals here for the day, whatever, how much you caught, all of that stuff. And when you come back here to the shop, you're going to go into rods. You're going to grab a spinning rod. You're going to grab this value spin 190 here. Now, I already have it. And you're also going to go to lines. You're going to go to mono here. And you are going to grab this 1.4 kilogram line, which is like 3 pounds. 3 pound test. Obviously, it's not going to be the 0.9 kilogram. But yeah, it's a little bit heavier line. And it will be useful just to help catch some of these bass and some of these pickerel. And then one last thing you're going to do is you're also going to go to spoons here. And you are going to grab this 9 gram number 1 casting spoon. I'm not sure how much that is in ounces. I will add the conversion up on the screen so you guys know. Once you have all of that bought, all you're going to do is unequip your tele float here. You're going to throw on your value spin. Go back to your backpack. You can still use this mini spin here. And what you're going to want to do is quickly bring over your new line. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, it will say the line is too strong for the reel. There's risk of damage. But don't worry about that right now. The rod and the reel aren't that important right now because we're not going to be keeping these rods for very long. So don't worry about them getting damaged. And they don't cost a lot to repair. But you're just going to want to throw on this setup here. The value spin, the mini spin, the 1.8 millimeter mono line, which is about 3 pound test, and your casting spoon, 9 grams, number 1 size hook. I'm not sure what that is in ounces, but I will throw that up on the screen for you guys. The other thing I forgot to mention was the keep net. Now, this is the most important upgrade you can possibly get in this game. It basically determines how much you're going to make every time you go out to a lake. Now, it doesn't matter so much right now because traveling to Lone Star is free, but no other lake in the game is it free to travel to. So I'm assuming you probably hit level 4. So what you're going to want to do is buy the Fish Hut Medium. Go to your inventory, click on your little guy up here, and it will be down here. You will be able to drag it. You'll have the extra small, and you can just go ahead and sell the extra small. Put in the medium here. Now it's going to be about 14-ish pounds, 7 kilograms. So that way, at least when you're catching these bass and these pickerel, you can keep them. One last thing you got to do also is go to licenses here, go to advanced, and make sure you buy a 1-day advanced Texas license. It's only like $400 or something like that. So again, it's not too bad. It will get pricier and pricier once you go to other lakes, which is why you have to manage your money properly in this game. So anyways, once you grab that keep net, you grab that advanced Texas license, you get your rod and reel set up, and your casting spoon on, we can head back to Lone Star Lake. All right, now that we're back on Lone Star Lake, just head to the dock here, or the bridge, depending on what you want to call it. Now remember, make sure that you are at a peak time of day, which we kind of are, but again, we're just gonna fast forward pressing T or square on console. We're gonna go to about 1800 hours here, fast forward the time. Now, if you want to quickly catch the bass, this spot right here is very good for bass. Just cast out, lower your speed to about 2 or 3, whatever you feel most comfortable with, and just go with a simple stop and go motion, which literally just means you go for a little bit, you let go, you go for a little bit, you let go. You can also do twitch, which looks like this. You basically just consistently reel in, and you pull the rod up and down. Now you can right click on PC to do that, or I believe it's left trigger, and you will catch a fish like that either way. Remember that stop and go is probably the easiest one to do. It doesn't take much skill to do it at all, and it works pretty well in like any situation in the entire game. So if you ever don't know what motion to do, go ahead, use stop and go. And now I know we got a trophy white crappie here and not the bass, but still not a bad little gain for us. 32 XP, go ahead and keep that. You will get some of those on here, but just keep fishing in this spot and you will get that spotted bass out of the way for sure. as you guys can see, I did catch a grass pickerel in this spot, but I highly recommend if you're trying to catch a grass pickerel to cast out towards the middle of the lake here, or even to the side around here. Usually I find I can get grass pickerel a little bit easier on this side, but it can happen on this side when you're trying to get that bass. But this is, in my opinion, the best spot for the bass. Except for right there, because I fucked up the cast by moving it. But, alright, as you can see, it looks like we have a bass on right now. Just judging by how hard he's fighting, how much he's jumping, you can pretty much guess that it's going to be a bass here. Now, it's a lot of fun to fight these bass, especially with this setup. It makes it not too easy, but also it's not too hard. So just, yeah, keep a constant reel going in. You can sometimes let go to take away some of the pressure. You can also try and pull them out of the water a little bit. Now, I don't recommend you do that all the time, but it is something you can do. And you just really honestly have to find your technique on how you want to fish. And the more you fish, the more you'll figure out the movements that you like and which way you want to do it. But I'll just talk while I finish reeling in this bass here, because I know it's going to be one. There's no way that this is a crappie or a pickerel. But yeah, so now that we're done with the grass pickerel and also the bass, we're going to have to go to the smallmouth buffalo and the channel catfish. Now, when we go to them, we are going to have to use a different rod. We're going to have to use a float rod. And the reason for that is because our old float rod cannot actually cast to the spots that we actually need to in order to obtain the smallmouth buffalo and the channel catfish. And we're going to need a little bit better setup. So what we're going to do after I'm done catching this bass is just go back to, oh, I'm going to lose him here. Oh no, we saved it. We saved it. We're good. We're going to go back. We're going to leave Lonestar Lake, go back to home, and we are going to get a new setup just for catching these last two fish. And I'll show you guys what that looks like, so that way you know what you need, what kind of bait you need, all of that stuff, because it is going to be a little bit more challenging to catch these last two. At least the smallmouth buffalo sometimes takes a while. So if it's not working right away, don't be afraid. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does. It just, you know, it is fishing. It is luck of the draw. I didn't think it'd be taking me this long to get this bass in here. But I'll keep talking my way through it as we're going. It is a little bit of a fight here. Also wanted to let you guys know that I do stream Fishing Planet over on Twitch. My Twitch will be in the description down below. So if you guys want to come to my Twitch channel, you have any questions about that, feel free to come to my Twitch channel. I'll be able to answer them there live. It's a little bit easier than answering down in the YouTube comments, but don't be afraid to post some YouTube comments as well. And definitely come check out the Twitch. We have a few guys in there that are very knowledgeable about this game, even more knowledgeable than I am. And they will definitely try their best to help you out if you have any questions. And it's pretty fun to just come hang out, watch the game while you're playing the game. And we can give you a little bit more of like live help if you need it. So make sure to come check that out. Anyways, it looks like we're about to get the bass in here. And as you can see, this is a good sized bass here. 8.2 kilos, not bad. 139 bucks. You can go ahead and keep him. And you will have enough space to keep that fish as long as you're you upgraded that keep net like we did. And remember, I know I caught the grass pickerel over here, but you can also catch them out here with the same exact method. So if you're having a little bit of a tough time, just keep casting out here then, and you will be able to catch it. So what you're going to want to do now is leave Lonestar Lake, and I'm going to show you guys where to catch the channel catfish and the smallmouth buffalo. Alright, so you're going to want to go into the shop yet again, go into match rods, and you're going to want to buy this right here, the Omni Float 350. Now, you should be level 5 by now. If not, just keep grinding until you can get this. Go ahead, buy the Omni Float 350. It's a pretty decent starting rod, and it will just automatically equip it. Now, you can throw that line on there, or that reel back on there, the Mini Spin 800, and you can throw the similar line that we have on here. It should be good enough for this setup. And then what you're going to want to do also is go into the shop, go to baits, and make sure you grab some pet food, because that's going to help you a lot. And if you are level 5, grab dough balls while you're at it. If not, just keep grinding. Eventually, you'll get to level 5. You're going to want to throw on hook number 2 here. You can throw on your same oval-shaped float. But yeah, throw on a number 2 hook. You can find those in the shop under terminal tackle and simple hooks. Remember, if you buy them here, it's a little bit cheaper than buying them at the store. And you will be throwing pet food on. Now, you will want to do 250 centimeters. Well, actually, you can go to about 2. You can go to like 230, whatever you feel like. And I will put the conversion for inches down there. But basically, for catfish, you're going to want the bait to be very, very deep. That's what we're going for, is a catfish. And then after that, we will be using the dough balls to go after the smallmouth buffalo. So just head back to Lonestar Lake. All right, so once you're back to Lonestar Lake, you're going to want to spawn in here at Home Sweet Home, not at the bridge like last time. And I do have some markers set up for you guys so you have an idea of where to catch the catfish. Now, this can work at any time. I think the recommended catfish setup is 8 to 11, but you can also just go to the peak times and you'll be all right. But if you want to go to 8 to 11 a.m. for catfish, you certainly can. Now, if you open up your map here by pressing M or triangle on console, you can see I have these marks placed down. This big patch right here, this very deep area, that's great for catfish. And then these 2 deep areas are also great for catfish up near the bridge. Now, you won't be able to cast into these with that starting rod, which is why I recommend you just go and grab this Omni float here. It's going to make life a lot easier too. And you can use this at the next lake. So what you're going to want to do is just set a marker right where I did, exactly like I did. You can set one by clicking this plus symbol here and just clicking right there, and you'll be good. And then what that does is it brings up these green like bayou things that you can just have. And now you can just cast right out in to where you need to cast, and you will be good to go. One thing that might happen is if your bait's sitting lopsided like this, you might want to just reel in and just shorten it up a little bit. I'm going to go down to 200 centimeters here, which should be fine. Remember, we got pet food on, number 2 hook, and there you go. You can see our bobber is sitting nicely there, nice and straight, right in that deep, deep hole. And we're going to be looking for some catfish here. So I will let you guys know when we get the catfish on. All right, as you guys can see, we caught the young channel catfish in this exact spot. So feel free to go use it. We did have our line leader set to 200 centimeters. I will post the conversion for you guys. But yeah, right there is a good spot. I will show you the map again in case you missed it. And there are a few other spots that you can try, but basically in these 3 spots, you'll be able to grab that catfish very, very quickly. All right, so if you're trying to catch the smallmouth buffalo, what you're going to need to do is put on some dough balls, set your leader length to about 150 to 170 centimeters, or in between that can work. I will put the conversions up for you guys. You're going to want to head over to Dam Road here, click Go Fishing, head over to these lily pads right here. It's just to the left of where you spawn in. You're just going to want to toss it out either behind the lily pads right here, in front of the lily pads right here, or in between these 2 lily pads right here. Now, this fish does take some time to catch. You either get really lucky and get them soon, or you might get a little bit unlucky and not get them for a while. But just keep fishing in this area. The best time of day for this is 8 to 11, and you can catch them during peak times as well. So what you might want to do is fish from 8 to 11. If you don't get them, go to peak time, fish that, and then fast forward to 8 o'clock in the morning again. And keep doing that until you catch him. It will take some time. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. That's fishing. Anyways, this is the best and only spot on the map, or on the lake, sorry, I guess I should call it, to catch the smallmouth buffalo. So yeah, just keep going here and wait, and eventually you'll get them. All right, as you guys can see here, it took a little bit longer than expected. I caught them at 1400 hours, so about 2 o'clock. That was during the peak time in this, so I didn't do the 8 to 11 thing to catch him, but I did finally get him. It took a little bit, so don't be discouraged, and as long as you're catching fish, you're still making a little bit of extra money here. But there's the smallmouth buffalo. Now I'm going to tell you guys what to do before you move on to the next lake. Also, there is the mission accomplished, Lonestar Exploration 2, $1,300. You get 1 bait coin, and you get some new line as well. Now, what I would recommend doing here is just going back to your value spin setup here, putting your mini spin back on, throwing your old line on. I'm not sure why I put that there, but we don't need that 3.6 pound test just yet. What I'd recommend is going back out, putting back on your lure setup, and go farm some bass for as long as you can, honestly. Just farm some bass there. And then what you should do after that is once you get to about level 8, I'd recommend grabbing this bigger keep net here, which is 12 kilograms, so about 24, 25-ish pounds. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another video of the setup of what you should use to either bring to Mudwater or to Rocky Lake. Now, it doesn't matter which one you go to first. And again, you don't have to complete all the missions at each of these places. It's not a huge deal if you rush to the missions. Where you're going to make your biggest money early on is actually Emerald Lake. But before I get into all of that stuff, I just want to let you guys know that these videos are going to be coming out. I am going to do a guide for Mudwater, for Rocky, and for Emerald Lake, and it's going to explain how to do all the missions there. But the real money is made at Emerald Lake. So when I drop that Emerald Lake video, if you guys just want to worry about making money, leveling up as fast as possible, the best way to do it is going to be Emerald Lake, but you do need a bigger keep net than what we're going to have right now. So that's why I recommend going to Rocky or to Missouri at least for a little bit. And at least getting up to about 15 is probably the keep net you want before you go to Rocky or you go to Emerald. Because honestly, you don't want to go to these places with a super tiny keep net. That's why I'm saying, like, even now, when you go to Mudwater, you're not, like, 7 kilograms isn't that much, especially when you're going after catfish. But there's a really good farm for catfish in Mudwater, and then Rocky Lake has a lot of trout fighting too, and trout are a lot of fun. But I would definitely recommend for a little bit, farm up until you get to level 8 at least, maybe level 9, level 10. However much bass farming you can stomach, do that. And then in the next video, I'm going to go to either Mudwater or Rocky and show you guys what setup you should use at both of these lakes and what you should bring with you your first time there and what you should farm. And you won't get all the missions done, but don't worry too much about getting the missions done. We'll probably go to Mudwater, do some catfish farming, and I'll show you guys in the next video what to bring to Mudwater there. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Come check out the Twitch. If you guys have any questions, comment anywhere you can. I'll try and answer them as best as I can. I hope you guys are enjoying Fishing Planet. And the worst part is over. Lonestar is the slowest part of the whole game. There's not much to do. It's not a ton of fun at Lonestar. But once we get to Mudwater, Rocky, and Emerald, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And I will definitely let you guys know what setups to bring so you guys can maximize some profits. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out the description, the links to my social media platforms and Discord where you can come hang out. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. And also comment down below and I'll try to respond as best as I can. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.